That's why they say it takes 8 years to build your brand. 8 years.
Oh, really? That's an actual stat.
No, I just made that up, but it sounds like
No,
but that's what I read. Yeah. Let's go with it. No, look, I believe that it takes about 8 years to build your brand.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're nothing within the first 8 years then?
That's the problem with most business owners because they want it now.
Yes.
If you're committed to the grind and you go, okay, it takes us 8 years. Like, where are we at? We're in the second year. Okay, or we're in the 5th year. Like, we're not there yet.
See, that was the
We're
first
little
stat.
babies.
Yeah, that was the first stat we heard was like in the first 2 years of running a business is where people fail or succeed. And we surpassed that this year. And we're like, okay, this is crazy.
Yeah.
This is the next level now.
They
And
have
it's just-
statistics on it, like first year of
course.
the fall over, and then
Yeah, it's like 90% in the first
but
year.
most
Yeah.
businesses don't read that in the start. They're like,
No.
I need to know, like, am I going to make it out of this 2 year period? Like, shit, I'm here now.
I did
like,
2 years.
Yeah. And then you should celebrate that, man.
Yeah.
You really
Yeah.
should, because some guys don't get out. You know,
Yeah.
they start the business, but it's hard. Like, I think,
Why do you think not many people do it?
start it or not
They
make it.
fail within the first 2 years or whatever it is.
Claudia's a prime example of that. Like I want to run a business. Like I want to do what you're doing, you know? Okay, great. So go away and do all these things, come back. And to her credit, she went away and she did all the things and she come back. And I'm like, okay, how can you not, work with somebody that's going to be so, motivated to getting it? So I'm like, I've got to take her on this journey with me, which is, been great. But even I believe, and she'll laugh when she hears this, but there's times when she's like, shit, Ben, like, this doesn't go away, does it? Like business is every single minute.
Yep.
Yes.
Like, I don't care if I have to take an email or take a client at 2 a.m. in the morning if that's what the client wants. Like, most people won't do that. They want to work. They think, financial freedom means
9 to 5.
Yeah. So answering your question, I think people come in it for different reasons.
Yeah.
You got to be prepared to go the distance. You got to be prepared to do the shit.
Endure the hard shit that no one else can do.
Yeah, and grind, man, and like pure grind. And I think not everybody can do that.
Yeah, makes sense.
I don't
Like
think
special
it's
qualities.
Yeah, 100%. You have to build all your skill sets. You have to become a good leader.
Yeah.
And again, I don't think everyone can be a leader, and that's not
That's not a bad thing.
No, and not even from an arrogant place. Like you have to do the work yourself.
Yeah.
I still have business coaches. I still have mentors. I just got off a call, literally, off my business coach who's in America. I fly all over the country to meet people and to do these workshops and go on these seminars and collab with people and drive to Bexley and talk to you because this is what it takes. You can't stay in your comfort zone or you won't make it out of that 2 or 3 year period.
That's very true. Like forever filling up your time with things that you love to do.
You have to, man.
You enjoy doing. You've got a passion for it. So why not just fill up all your time with something that you're passionate about?
Yeah, and go all in.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't go half-assed.
Because I feel like to become a good leader, you have to actually be knocked down 100 times, but still get up.
Sacrifice to, props to mind. Like,
What's been the biggest sacrifice for you? Time?
I got kids now.
So.
I got a family now, so that's probably what I would say is a challenge. Having 2 little kids, my son's 8, my daughter's 5. I remember my father being in business and not being around so much, so I'm conscious of that. So I'm sacrificing now a little bit of time to try and get us to a certain position, I guess, as a family. But I can see, say, for Claudia, who's younger, she's sacrificing the party life, the life, right? The life, where it's your friends are out and you've disconnected with half your friends because they're on another journey of whatever the hell they're doing.
It's a lonely path.
And she feels lonely at times, or I can see, I can see that she has to say no to certain events because we're running an event in the gym. She has to, it's like some of her friends don't catch up because they're, she knows Claudia's working or, you know what I mean? It might not be out of malice or anything. It's just purely different direction. So that's a reality smack in the face.
But that's what it takes. That's what it takes to be, successful.
Yeah.
Whether that be happiness.
Do you feel like every business owner goes through this lonely path?
Period?
I think so, man. I had to cut a lot of people out, very early on. If I was going to make a different choice in life, then, you have to really sit back, reflect and go like, I need to change my attitude, to change the direction that I'm moving in.
Yeah.
you know.
Push yourself outside that comfort zone.
You do, man. You got to delete numbers and disconnect. You know, it's yeah. And again, I don't think everybody's prepared to do that.
Yeah.
You know, I had to go like in my own bubble for a couple of years to reshape who I was and, you know, the decisions I was making, you know.
Sure.
So, yeah, you know, the journey of business, I guess, it uncovers so many things, eh? Like you really learn about yourself in that time.
Yeah.
That's the best self-development journey that you could have, right? Like it really is, man.
Well, you go into such a self-sufficient bubble for so long, and then you start expanding and collaborating. Here we are on a podcast like this, and it gives us the opportunity to talk about our experience from our lonely chapter as well, where we're in that bubble.
You know what I love about meeting other business owners is you realize that you're not alone.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why I say to Claudia, I'm like, come with me to meet people, do these things, you know, connect with other business owners. Because while you think that you're a bit lonely because your mates are doing other things, you go and meet other boys and you're like, these guys are grinding. These guys are hustling. It sort of fires me up a little bit to go, well, if they can, I can. You know,
Yes.
You know, and then
Because a lot of people doing it as well.
Yeah, so if you got to find your circle, your new circle.
That's what we found a bit of a struggle in the beginning of this podcast. We were like, where does this direction go? We're just going to talk about fitness. Then we had the opportunity to start talking to business owners, and one business owner after the other just gave us more fire within the belly, and it was just one after the other. Now we get to speak to you and many others to come. I think that's a very important part of getting out of that lonely chapter, is that there's so many other people out there like you.
Yeah, and there's guys that are on your level. There's guys that are on another level and another level and another level. It's
there's
like
so many levels to it.
Yeah, and so what are they doing? I want to know.
Yeah.
You know, I want to know, what are they doing differently to me?
Yeah.
Like, can I get to that level? Do I want to be on that level? Maybe I'm happy here. And
what does it take?
Let's stay here and run it from this level. You know, so when I was younger, I always used to think that, you know, okay, well, me and you have the same time.
Yeah.
You know, we got 24 hours in a day. So what's the difference between you and me? And whatever it is, I got to fill the gap, you know? So, okay, I can see that he's spending more time reading. Perfect. I didn't like to read. Guess what I'm going to do? Start reading every day. You know, this guy's going to all these seminars. Great. You know, I'm not in competition with him. I just can see he's going.
This is the stuff he does. This is stuff I need to do.
Yeah, I'm not doing it. So then I can't say, well, how come he got to that level? You know, because he's doing the work.
Yeah.
So that's, you know, that's always how I think, man. And I still think like that.
Yeah.
You know, I'm still constantly trying to find ways to level up myself, you know.
100%.
And all the guys in the crew, they always say, Ben, you lead by example. You know, even much our training, you know, our whatever it is, you know, I want to be that. I want to be the captain of the team. You know?
I feel like every level, as you just said, has its own sacrifices involved. And the higher you get, the more sacrifices you have to make. And whenever you look at that level, you got to decide, am I willing to put in the sacrifice or lose out on X, Y, Z to get X, Y, Z? So you have to do all these little trade-offs every single time.
Yeah, and the more that you take on, you know, the more, it's a leaky bucket at the back too.
Yeah.
So I was talking before about, you know, going horizontal. You know, I was constantly going horizontal, like trying to take on new opportunities, get involved here, speaking here, you know, everything.
Spreading yourself thin.
Yeah, the last couple of years, it's like we're going vertical. You know, I know exactly what we need to do to get to this goal. You know, we're going to stay on this path. So now I have to slightly say, can't do that because I'm here, you know, and this is the priority. But I think in the beginning for any, you know, younger business owners, it's just like take every opportunity. Just go. Yeah, just go hard. Yeah. Go hard, take it. You know, if you get asked to speak, speak. If you get, you know,
go as horizontal as you can.
Do more than you think you can.
Yeah.
You know, because you're capable.
It's like funneling all your energy. You spread it as wide as possible, and then it just comes into that one funnel, and then you put all your energy into
now I'm doing that.
Yeah.
You know, in the position that we are now, it's like, okay, I know, you know, that this is the end goal, and we've aligned to new goals and new things that we want to hit, new numbers. So I have to come a bit more vertical and choose my time wisely, you know. So, but in the beginning, you go hard.
I saw in one of your podcasts, you mentioned that you get into the trenches, and that's what defines you as a leader.
Yeah.
So you mentioned something about you actually go into the toilets and you actually clean the
Yeah,
toilets.
I clean with the boys. Like they laugh because and I hate doing it. Just don't get me wrong. It's not something that you enjoy to do. But when I was a painter, I used to do the same thing. So we would paint the house, and you can paint the walls, the ceilings, and the windows. That's all the fun stuff, I guess. But then somebody has to paint the toilets, so you have to physically hug the toilet bowl and cut around it with a brush, and and roll the section. I'd go and do that because I knew my boys didn't want to do it. And I'm the owner of the company here, right? So, and I've got 6 or 7 painters at this point that probably
you wouldn't expect the owners.
Yeah, the apprentice would go and do that. Normally, I would go and paint it.
Yeah,
and I tried to do that to lead by example to show there's no job that I wouldn't do that I'm going to ask you to do. And what I found was my apprentices, and from time to time, what they'd say, Ben, don't go and paint that. I'll do it today.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we get to the job. They pull out the brush.
They're actually the ones that are saying it to you. It's the other way around.
I'd drop something on the floor. They'd go to pick it up. I'd stop them. We'd stop them. We'd have this argument, So, but I had to build that culture around I'm prepared to do it.
Yeah.
I think maybe sometimes business owners get in there and they want to dictate a demand or, and that's the type of bosses that I worked for before that would, go and paint the toilets, man, do all 3 of them in that demeanor,
Leading by example.
Now it's well, okay, I'm in charge. I'll do that. I'll still do it. And then
I'm going to do it different.
Yeah. And now in the gym, every challenge that we run, I do the challenge with them. So
you actually do it?
I do it with them. I'm on one now, right? So we have a winter program challenge that we run with all the members.
Yep.
There's about 30 odd people on the challenge. I do the challenge with them. So that I can stand at the front and say, at the end of this, we did it together. We
do
have
you always win?
No, not always. There's some people that kill it, you know what I mean?
Yep.
They're just on, all the time. Even we got a program called Project X. So it's almost 75 hard, but a bit on steroids. So we wanted to run a 4-week
harder than 75?
Yeah, it's hard. 4 a.m. wake ups, 4 liters of water, double workouts, inside, outside.
Yeah.
On the last night, we meet at midnight. We go all night from midnight to 8 a.m. It's
How many
extreme.
people are doing that?
We have about 20, 30 people who sign up to these programs, right? So we run all different things throughout the week, depending on the level of the person. So if someone's been on a challenge with me before and it's a normal gym challenge, they might level up to Project X, being that's our extremity.
That's the elite
Yeah,
one.
yeah, but we do it. So I'm there at midnight.
Yep.
We ice bath at 4 a.m.
No way.
Yeah, we try and push them to the thing. But when I say going through the trenches, I literally do the program.
You do the thing.
Yeah, I don't watch them on FaceTime and tell them to dial in.
Come on, guys.
Yeah. Call me at 8 o'clock. I'm literally there out, getting it with them. So, and I enjoy that. I really do. I enjoy it. I think as a coach, who are you going to take advice off, right? If you got one instructor or coach that's, overweight, smokes cigarettes, drinks, you know what I mean? Because I've seen them. There's lots in martial arts. They become a 4th Dan black belt. Yet the guy can't kick higher than a grasshopper or whatever. Now, obviously, age, plays factors in these things, but a lot of them stop training. And I always said to my martial arts crew, I said, I'm not going to be a big fat grandmaster. Once I get to that point, I'm hoping that I can still be on the floor, kicking, rolling, and doing my thing. I might not be as quick as most of my kids now.
Yeah.
I've got some juniors that have come through that when we spar, I must have a target on my back, because I'm the coach or the instructor. They take it up to me a little bit, and they're great. But they've leveled up. That's that's a sign of a good club when the young ones step up, and they should be better than me, But I'm getting a bit older and tired now, and I don't, I'm not in my prime, but I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But I'm still on the floor with them, I still want to have a crack and lead from the front.
I wanted to ask you, obviously motivation is a very big thing in this sort of industry because you're not only trying to motivate yourself, but you're obviously trying to motivate others. How do you stay motivated for yourself?
It's a juicy question, eh? Again, I get asked a bit, right? I know I said that before, but I get asked how are you always on?
Yeah.
I don't think I'm always on, right? There are moments when you feel off, right? I think I've always thought that, feelings are short. Talking what we were talking about before with martial arts and, a feeling of frustration is short. Feeling of anger is short. Feeling of tired is short. Feeling of happy is short, right? So when I'm on, I really capitalize on being on.
Yep.
But when I'm off, I now acknowledge that I'm off and it's okay to be off. And I'll take a moment to do certain things. What I try to do is have some non-negotiables. Things like my wake-up time every morning is a non-negotiable. I don't have 7 different alarms like most people. I just have one.
Yep.
Right? I get up every morning, I walk, and my phone is actually in the bathroom, so I don't place that next to the bed.
So you have to get up and get it.
I've got to turn it off, or I wake up the whole house and my wife. And you don't want to wake up my wife, or she will, you'll Jackie Chan your ass, right?
Yep.
So